All morning, gentlemen, we've heard the story of Russia influencing our campaigns and indeed in the current campaign for the midterms. So let me begin with Mr. Ray and say, has the President directed you and your agency to take specific actions to confront and blunt Russian influence activities that are ongoing?
We're taking a lot of specific efforts to blunt
Are
Russian
they directed by the President?
not as specifically directed by the President.
Okay. Director Pompeo, have you received a specific presidential direction to take steps to disrupt these activities? Could you put it on?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure how specific. I mean, the President's made very clear we have an obligation from our perspective, from foreign intelligence perspective, to do everything we can to make sure that there's a deep and thorough understanding of every threat, including threats from Russia.
But as he singled out the Russian threat, which appears to be critical to this election coming up, I know there are threats from many different vectors, but have you received a specific threat, i.e. it's very important to him to get this done correctly?
Yeah, I think the President's been very clear that he has asked our agency to cooperate with each of the investigations that's ongoing and do everything we can to ensure that we thoroughly understand this potential threat.
Director Coates, have you received a specific directive to take specific steps to disrupt and understand first and then disrupt Russian activities directed at our elections in 2018?
I would echo what Director Pompeo just said. We work together on this throughout the agency. Has full understanding that we are to provide whatever intelligence is relevant and make sure that that is passed on to our policymakers, including the President.
Passing on relevant intelligence is not actively disrupting the operations of an opponent. Do you agree?
No, we pass it on and they make the decisions of how to implement it.
As the Director of Intelligence, have you are aware of or leading an interagency and intergovernmental working group that is tasked with countering Russian activities, not merely reporting on it, but tasked with countering those activities? Are you aware of any type of interagency group, any intergovernmental groups, since state elections are critical or state elected officials are critical?
Well, we essentially are relying on the investigations that are underway.
So the answer
both with this committee and the HIPC committee and as well as the special counsel.
So you're not taking any specific steps based on the intelligence to disrupt Russian activities that are occurring at this moment?
We take all kinds of steps to disrupt Russian activities in terms of what they're trying to do. I think I'll turn it over to Director Pompeo to.
Let me finish with the rest of the gentlemen. Are you finished, Mr. Coates?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Senator Reid, we have a significant effort I'm happy to talk to you about in closed section. The CIA is, and it is not just our effort, it is certainly all of IC effort. There may be others participating as well to do our best to push back against this threat. And it's not just the Russian threat. It's Iranians and Chinese. It's a big, broad effort.
I understand, Mr. Director. We have mutual threats, but one threat that has been central to our, and you've testified this publicly, the last election there was a Russian influence. This election, they seem to be more prepared. They've learned their lessons. The simple question I pose is, have the President directed the intelligence community in a coordinated effort not merely to report, but to actively stop this activity? And the answer seems to be, I'm hearing, is the reporting's going on as we're reporting about every threat coming into the United States. Let me get back to quickly, do any of the other panelists have anything to add on this point?